What's up, guys? We're back. It's a Victory Monday. Just a little disclaimer. I am on my cell phone right now. My laptop is broken. I will be getting that fixed this week. This will be the only time you will see the weird camera like this. Anyways, I wanted to start this off actually with thanking all my Twitter followers. I'm up to 400 Twitter followers.
All
And
right.
I September. So that's over 100 Twitter followers a month, which is pretty good. So I want to say thank you for that. And of course, whoever does watch our podcast, thank you for that as well. Other than that, I'm ready to get into this. We defeated the Pats. It was a great win. I was there. We're gonna dive right into it. So, you got anything you wanna add?
No, I'm excited to go over it. I think this was a huge win overall for the team, and just for to eliminate the Patriots from playoff contention. To me, hitting, I know that like we need to hope for more, and we will get more. But for me, a 9-7 season exceeded what I ever thought we were capable of before the season had started. So even in the beginning of the season, week 1 and week 2, I didn't think we were capable of a winning season, and like. All I have to say before we go over the game is hats off to Coach Flo for being an amazing coach. It really is amazing to have a coach for the first time in my lifetime that I feel confident in, and that could take the team from a 5-11 team, which was only 5-11 due to personnel. I would not say they were 5-11 due to coaching. They actually were 5-11 due to coaching, because they could have been an 0-16 team. So it's just amazing. Hats off to Flo. I'm really happy that he's the coach of the Miami Dolphins.
Stephen Ross and Chris Greer as well. Give
Yep, them
them.
too.
Yep.
Huge thing for the personnel department and the people that they added in the personnel department too.
It's become a top 3-5 organization to play for, and I think that's a message league wide that everyone knows.
It's going to be incredible, and I'm excited in the offseason to see where we lean towards in terms of if we attract some free agents for less money, and if we go about just re-signing our own and maybe not making a splash. But we'll get to that in the future.
Yep. All right, so we will start with just some stats. Actually, we're going to start with a little bit of an injury recap. Solomon Kinley was hurt in the game. I don't know the extremities of that injury yet. It looks like there was no structural damage, so he should be okay as far as what I've read on Twitter, but there's really been no MRIs or anything to confirm that. Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki, and Jakeem Grant were, of course, inactive on Sunday. Supposedly they were really close to playing. We've heard that before with Tua. So I'm sure they'll be back next week. And some news that came out today is we did waive Antonio Callaway.
Yeah.
So other than that, we'll get into the stats. So Cam Newton, Mr. Gold Chain, he went 17 of 27 with 209 passing yards, which a big chunk of that was in garbage time when we were letting them throw underneath. 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Sony Michel had a good day for the Patriots. He had 10 rushes for 74 yards, averaging 7.4 yards a carry. Other than that, there was no stat board watchers on the Patriots side. Tua Tagovailoa, 20 of 26 with 145 passing yards. So not a lot of passing yards, but that's kind of what you expect against a secondary like the Patriots.
And with a receiving core that we rolled out with, it's
He had
expected.
2 rushing touchdowns, and then he did have that bad interception.
Mm-hmm.
Player of the game by far is Savon Ahmed. He had 23 rushes, 122 yards, and a touchdown. And then Matt Breida also played very well with 12 rushes for 86 yards. And our leading receiver in yardage was Durham Smythe. And our leading receiver in receptions was Lynn Bowden Jr.
That's incredible. I think that's incredible. And if the national media isn't talking about the two people you just named, not because they're great, but because that's incredible that we won a football game against the New England Patriots in December, a meaningful game for both teams with Durham Smythe and Lynn Bowden Jr., two people that nothing more needs to be said about that. Nobody in the national media knows who any of those people are.
Isaiah Ford was third on the team with 3 receptions. So.
Incredible. But you expect that. They had some cool plays. There's definitely some things I want to talk about moving forward.
All right, so I'm going to start off with the injury to Kinley in the offensive line. This was definitely by far the best the offensive line has played all season. Let's see, by the end of the game, we had Austin Jackson, left tackle. We had Dieter at left guard. We had Karras at center. Help me out here, right guard.
Jesse Davis.
And then Robert Hunt.
Yeah.
I think that unit played very well. I didn't see Dieter make any mistakes.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. That for
Yep.
sure. Dieter coming in, wow. Not that he played well last year. We almost have to write off last year because he didn't really play well. But how well could he have played as a rookie on the worst offensive line in football with none of those people being back on that offensive line this year?
Yep.
I don't think Dieter got a fair shot last year, and he didn't get a fair shot this year. And I'm not saying that he should start, but as a backup guard, for him to come in and play like that and to pull the way he pulled, that was pretty incredible. And I would be comfortable with Dieter moving forward at left guard if he has to play. My problem is the depth behind Dieter because you're on your third guard now. You're at your third. This is the third string left guard at this point. So I'm
Yep.
not comfortable with the depth beyond Dieter, but I'm okay if Dieter has to play the next 2 weeks.
Yep. And hopefully Kinley's okay. And then of course Eric Flowers will probably be close, if not returning this week. And I don't know. I don't know about how that rotation will work. I liked the unit that we ended with. To me, it's almost like maybe, and I hate saying this, and I might get ridiculed for it, but maybe kick Jesse Davis to left tackle and let Austin Jackson sit on the bench. I mean, I know he was our first round pick, but he has been our worst offensive lineman this season, or at least since he's came back.
I think Jesse Davis played better at left tackle too, and I think you're going to get heat for that take. But I kind of agree with that. Now, as of recent weeks, if you ask me if Jesse Davis should have been starting there week one, no. Austin Jackson did well in the beginning, but you sent me an interesting stat today that Austin Jackson was the worst lineman this week, and statistically, he's been regressing every week. And I'm not sure if he's hit a rookie wall. I'm not sure if he wasn't prepared. I don't think that means he shouldn't be the left tackle moving forward. I think he should be the left tackle for the future years to come. But maybe right now it might be better if he sat. But that won't. We both know that won't happen.
It's tough. It's a tough thing to do because we are in a win now mentality right now. And does Austin Jackson help you the most to win, or does Jesse Davis help you the most? That's something the coaching staff has to figure out. I'm glad I'm not on the coaching staff, and I'm glad I don't have to make those tough decisions. But yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting going forward because there's really 6 or 7 guys that are really about even in talent. I'd say Robert Hunt is our best offensive lineman right now.
Me too.
So that'll be interesting going forward.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes. I'm just happy to have the depth that we've never had before. It's nice to have all these options. My only thing on the offensive line is there's no real stud yet, and maybe we're just hoping that one of the young guys develops into one. But there's no ringer. There's no Mike Pouncey. There's no Brandon Albert. There's no guy that's kind of lights out yet. But they're all overall as a line. This is the best line we've had in a while because they're all as a unit good enough to get the job done.
Yep. So we're going to transition the offensive line right into the running backs. So I might get a lot of heat for this as well. I don't know if we should take a running back in the first round. And I don't want
I'm
to
going to give you heat for that.
I don't talk about draft a lot, but it's almost to the point where, like, do you think Breida and Savon Ahmed, who is averaging 4.6 yards a carry on the season and never got a shot, do you think that's not good enough going forward? We have a lot of running backs. I just don't know if the O-line is good enough to even block for someone like Najee Harris right now.
Yeah, this is a really, really tough question, right? Because I think anyone can run behind a good line, and I think running backs are expendable. The only thing with me is I think if you have the opportunity, you know what? I say if the price is right. If Najee Harris or Travis Etienne fall to a pick where you feel like they're the best player available, then you take them. But I'm at the point now where I am agreeing with you that there's no point to reach for one of those two just because I think it is an offensive line issue. What was the difference between this week? It's not like we had good running backs. The only difference between this week and any other week was that the blocking held up. And I think if I also have a theory on that too, is I think that this unit of receivers are better run blockers than the starting unit of receivers because these guys are all special teamers. So like I know for a fact Mac Hollins is like having another tight end out there. Really, he's a big, good blocker. I think Lynn Bowden blocks really well. I think that Salvin Ahmed can't be your number one guy moving forward for one reason. I know you can't judge a player on one rep, but that pass blocking rep where he just let Tua get wrecked, I I think Salvin Ahmed belongs on this roster. I think he's a great undrafted rookie find. I think Gaskin belongs on this roster. I'm okay with letting Breida go. He contributed today, but I would rather see. You know what? You need 4 running backs. Keep those 3. Keep Laird, and add like a stud if you can. If you can't, we don't sweat it.
And don't get me wrong. Trust me when I say I would absolutely love to see Najee Harris in a Dolphins uniform. But it's just the bigger picture.
I get what you're saying.
Now,
There's just other things, other people we could take
yeah,
instead of a running back that might help way more. Like I actually think taking a lineman might be more helpful than taking like a running
yeah,
back, like taking a stud center or something. But Karras has been okay, so
yeah.
I don't know. Glad we're not making those
We'll,
decisions.
we'll get on to. Yeah, I don't like talking about draft.
Yeah,
We're on a playoff run. I'm not going to get deep into the
yeah,
draft. That'll be definitely for the off season. We'll have some content about drafts.
for sure.
Um, but we'll get. We always like to talk about Tua. So we'll talk about Tua's performance. I'll repeat his stats. So he did go 20 of 26. He only had 145 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and an interception. Um, I thought Tua played well. I think he had 2 drops, 2 easy drops. So in reality, I think it's more 22 of 26. The completion percentage is there. Um, that's a tough. That's it's a tough. The Patriots are a tough team to throw on. And you can ask Justin Herbert that, who laid a big old goose egg on the Patriots. Um, you gotta. I guarantee you, Bill Belichick has openly praised Tua, and I guarantee going into that game, Bill Belichick prioritized stopping the pass. You don't think that's why the run opened up? Maybe.
All I heard, yeah, all I heard going into this week was how Bill Belichick's going to destroy Tua because he kills rookie quarterbacks. And, like, yes, they got Tua to make a mistake. That was a bad rookie mistake that he threw a pick he shouldn't have thrown. But other than that, I thought Tua passed the ball well. And more importantly, they won the game. Herm Edwards, you play to win the game. Like, if you're Brian Flores, why on earth are you going to play Bill Belichick's game? Don't play his game. If he's going to take away the pass, don't pass. Just run. There's no shame. I don't care for the rest of our lives as Dolphins fans and the rest of Tua's career as a Dolphins player. I don't really care what his stats are. I want to see them win games. I want to see them win a Super Bowl, and I want to see them go to the playoffs. If they have to win that with special teams, defense, a run game, and Tua passing well and being a I'm not going to call him a game manager. Being an efficient distributor of the football, he's not a game manager. But all I'm saying is, like, do you, Andrew, care if, do you care if Tua just wins games but wins
Oh,
it how we need to win it? Look at Herbert. Would
absolutely.
you rather have Herbert? Would you rather
So,
be throwing for 400 yards a game and not winning any games?
so it's not even. Obviously, you want to win. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I love when Tua does pad the stats to shut up the naysayers.
Yes.
But no, dude, like he had 2 rushing touchdowns, over like a 75 completion percentage and 145 yards. The yards, yeah, I'd like to see it go higher, but dude. I'm not gonna say anything bad about Tua because he won the game. And you can say what these people can say whatever they want, but he didn't score a point in the first half, and he came out and scored 22 points against Bill Belichick in the second half. I don't care if he didn't score the points. He ran the offense. They scored 22 points against one of the best coach teams and the best defenses in the league for the last 10 years, and they won the game.
I have
So,
two
yeah.
more things to say now on this topic. 2 things that are important that the casual fans and the media are going to completely overlook that I can't stand. So the first thing is Tua creates plays that are dynamic, plays that Fitz cannot create. One of his rushing touchdowns was an amazing scramble on his part, and he juked somebody out before he saw somebody from the corner of his eyes and juked them out before anyone else could even see them and got in the end zone. An incredible play, and it's not the first time we've seen him do something amazing. The second thing is this running game was fantastic today, but were all of those plays run plays? The answer is no. A lot of these are RPOs that Tua has to make the right decision post snap every time to know, am I going to hand this off? Am I going to throw the underneath route? What am I going to do? And I think Tua executes this offense incredibly well, and he's going to execute it better each week. But this running game is an RPO running game. That means that the quarterback is basically the captain of where things are going to go, how they're going to unfold. And I don't think that Fitz can execute the offense like this. And I don't think most of the quarterbacks in the NFL can execute this style of offense the way he executes it. What he's asked to do, he does incredibly well. So I'm going to
Yeah.
leave it at that. I think the casual fan will just see the stats and not understand the offense, and I don't expect them to understand the offense. But for people like us, we know what's going on. That he is executing this offense, which is very creative, by the way. I do want to talk about that too. Aside from Tua, the creativity.
Absolutely. So last thing I'll finish up to it with is, you know, you see Justin Herbert, you see Joe Burrow, you see Jalen Hurts, and they're padding these stats, but they're not winning, right? But with Tua, you got to think he's a year removed from a hip surgery. He didn't have, he didn't do a lot of live reps over the summer or in training camp.
Right.
He's just now beginning to take hits. That's going to take a while for his mental to get back to him to take hits. I guarantee you, every time he takes a hit, he loses his breath a little bit. I guarantee you. And the bottom line is the glass isn't even half full. Like he's not even
Not
half
even.
what he will be.
I don't
Not
even
even.
think he's close to that. I'm not even sure he's a fourth of a way. He still has so much to learn. You're so right. He's so
Yeah,
far.
he has not even shown half what he can do. That's the bottom line. He barely throws the ball deep. Why? Because he doesn't have to.
Yeah, he doesn't have to, and he doesn't really have the weapons to, and we've seen him do it. We know he can do it because
Yeah,
we've seen what it looks like when he has the weapons, and he will have the weapons.
and we've
So
deep and we've seen the results. They're dropped. Almost every deep ball that has been catchable has been dropped. He hasn't connected on one all season.
he
I
hits
think
them
his
in the hands.
I think the longest 35 yards. Let's see, Gesicki off the top of my mind dropped one. Grant, who knows? I mean, he at least dropped a big one.
Yeah.
Um, I'm sure there's been more. I can't think of all of them on the top of my head, but every time there's a deep shot, it's not intercepted. Oh no, Grant dropped two because he dropped the wide open one and then the
And the
Chiefs one.
interception. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been that way, and I can't stand the naysayers because to me it feels like they're not watching what's going on with the team.
yeah,
It seems like they're just not watching, and that's what makes it aggravating to me. I think that if there was something to complain about, we're not really like the type of fans to sit here and not tell you when there's errors. Like we'll tell you when something's wrong, but in this case, nothing's wrong. So that's how I see that.
last thing. I know I just said the last thing
Yeah.
before, but the last day. So last week, I said this. I rewatched our video from last week earlier today,
Mhm.
and at the game, I said this. I was with my girlfriend, and we were losing 6-0 at halftime, and she's new to the whole football idea, so she's
Mhm.
like, "Do you think we win?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's
Yeah,
like,
I
"Well,
felt that way too.
we haven't scored yet," and I was like, "If you look at the trends of this offense, it is a second half offense. The playbook opens up, they go no huddle, and guess what? I swear Tua in his mind is like, all right, it's time to play.
Yeah,
Let's bring time to play. Let's go. It's time to win the game. Let's go home."
he's a gamer. He's a total gamer.
It's a
That,
whole different in the second. And I love it because it's like in the first half we can be down 7 or 10 points. Just keep it close. If we keep it close in the first half, I'm pretty confident coming out in the second half we can beat anybody.
yeah, and I think that the amount of I want to talk about the play calling because I think that the amount of trick plays and interesting like wrinkles that are in there are awesome. The direct snap to Malcolm Perry under center was used in the SEC championship game by Alabama last night, and we used it today. I think that's incredible. A fast install, and I think that's just amazing that Chan Gailey was doing all kinds of trick plays. They went for two, they got it. How long has Isaiah Ford been there to know that play? Was that a
Yeah.
play that we've had in the playbook since training camp, or was that a play that we did this week? No one
I
knows.
don't,
No one will ever know. But isn't that cool? Just how the
I'm definitely on board to keep Shane Gailey. He got a lot
for
of hate
sure.
early. He has babied Tua. He has babied him a little bit, but in the end, that's only going to help his growth. Let the kid get comfortable. Let him get comfortable before he starts making mistakes, because then he's going to ruin his confidence. Let him get comfortable.
I think it's a little bit of an insult to the intelligence of offensive coordinators sometimes, especially one like Chan Gailey. You know how old he is? He's 68 years old, and he's been coaching his entire life. To sit here as casual fans and say, oh, he's done this with Tua, or he's done that, maybe he knows what he's doing. Maybe, and the team is winning, and he's calling winning plays, and I think the
Yep.
play calls have been great, and maybe maybe he knows what he's doing, and maybe he's been doing this for, 45, 48 years or whatever, however long he's been a coach for. So maybe we, as fans, should keep it quiet and let him keep doing what he's doing because I wouldn't want a different offensive coordinator right now. I'm
Now,
I'm happy with him.
I have a question for you.
Yep.
If we move separate ways from Chan Gailey, what if the Miami Dolphins bring in the Adam Gase as offensive coordinator?
I don't want to entertain the question. I thought you were going to ask a good question, like what if we brought in Steve Sarkisian from
No,
Alabama? I was going to say that's great. That's
Adam Gase.
Adam Gase, the
Bring him.
offensive genius. Oh, and let's give a round of applause to the Jets for winning their game and screwing themselves out of what I think is the best quarterback to come out of the draft ever. So I think, like literally ever, I think Trevor Lawrence is a generational talent, better than Andrew Luck, better than Joe Burrow, better than anyone. And the Jets manage. Adam Gase is incredible for the Dolphins.
Yep.
You know, I would love to see Trevor Lawrence play Tua twice a year, every year, but I'd also like to sweep the Jets every year, every single year of Tua's career. So I guarantee you, if Trevor Lawrence did go to the Jets, that it'd be harder to sweep them every year.
I don't want to talk about the
Nope,
Jets a lot, but
let's not.
wait, Darnold's a bad quarterback, to be honest. I think there's room to work with him, just personally.
Yeah, I agree, but we won't talk about the Jets. I'm just happy that Trevor Lawrence isn't going to
Yeah.
go there for now.
All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is I have written down pass rush, but it's more of because it was very lacking in the first half. But to me, it's more of our linebacker play. I thought our linebackers played very well. Cam Newton didn't run all over us. KVN almost had a pick. Landon Roberts on the last play of the game. I don't know if you saw the film, but God, it is the best play to see. He absolutely blew up the running back in pass block, which
I'm going to go look at it.
ended up a sack for Ogba. But, dude, he was about 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. He saw the running back in pass block because he was in man-to-man guarding the running back.
Yep.
He said, screw it, I'm not sitting here in plain zone. He bull rushed and ran him over. And that's when Cam got sacked on the final play.
That's not even the first time we've seen that. Do you remember in the
Dude.
Jaguars game when Kyle Van Noy destroyed? I don't know if it was
Yeah.
Robinson or who. I think it was Robinson. He just like lit him up and gave him like the blindside treatment. Like
Yeah.
so, I think that's pretty awesome.
But yeah, that man, Landon Roberts, I love that. I love it when he does that. He is a strong dude.
And you know what? Yeah, he's stout too. He's very stout. He's on a 1 year deal. I just want to remind you, he's on a 1 year deal. So that's someone that we might want to consider. And we paid him pennies. So I hope that we can bring him back for pennies again.
Yeah, we need to. He's definitely stepped up. I wasn't a fan of his at the beginning of the year, but without him, we would be hurting.
He's the run guy. He's the Raekwon McMillan replacement. So
Yeah.
I have a question for you too, but after this. No,
go
it's
ahead.
not related to the pass rush. It's
Okay.
yeah.
The last person I want to mention is Jerome Baker. Jerome Baker has played absolutely phenomenal the last two games. I think he did get a sack on Cam Newton. I believe he did. I'm not sure, but I believe he did. But he's been all around the field. So
Yeah, he makes good
glad
tackles too.
Jerome Baker's starting to pan out. The defense is just coming. At the beginning of the season, it was more like Emmanuel Ogba and Xavier Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like Shaq Lawson will make contributions, Raekwon Davis, KVN, Landon Roberts, Eric Rowe. It's like a different person every week that are coming together as a unit.
Yeah.
Emmanuel, I mentioned on Twitter, he started out very fast, getting a lot of sacks, and he slowed down. So it's almost like, he probably honestly doesn't deserve the Pro Bowl. No, and don't take those any harsh way, but there's other flashy players, TJ Watt, that probably deserve the Pro Bowl, but it's just the unit of the defense is what's been huge. Ogba slacks off, and Shaq Lawson getting 2 sacks a game.
Yeah. Yeah, the scheme is really, really good, and I'm really happy for the scheme being that good. I'm overall, I have no complaints on this defense. I think it's even going to get better as time goes on. So
and Ogba sack, he did get the final sack that Roberts blew up the running back, but Ogba did get credit for the sack.
I'm gonna take a look at that right after this, and
Yeah.
I want to look at that play. The other thing that I wanted to ask you about was, what do you think about these amazing special teams play and the dime that Matt the punter, threw that pass? I think he's actually a phenomenal punter for the reason that he can do kind of a lot of stuff. He can kind of run. He's a little bit big. He can throw. What do you think of the play? What do you think of the not reporting ineligible? Why does that keep happening?
Let me tell you what happened from my point of view because I was at the game. I can tell you that flag came at least 30 to 45 seconds after the offense was in the huddle or almost on the field, and that flag came flying in, and I was like, what? And I saw, excuse me if I butcher his name, Camu Gruger Hill was was like this, like he was motioning that he reported eligible.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was
I
thinking too. I was
am I,
thinking,
since when I never heard of the rule that if you're in a punt formation and you're gonna fake it, because he's not on the line, he's not down on the line of scrimmage, right?
yeah.
Why does he report eligible? Aren't the gunners and everyone else that aren't down on the line of scrimmage already eligible receivers on special teams?
So
I don't know, but
So from what I saw, this was actually very helpful. I knew Omar Kelly would ask about it. He asked Brian Flores today in the press conference, and I got some good information out of it. But I think that there's some stuff that doesn't make sense. So first off, apparently any player with an ineligible number must always report eligible before catching a pass. So
what is
for
that?
example, Camu, this is what I'm interpreting it as. Camu
Okay.
Grugier Hill or whatever has number 51. 51 is like an ineligible receiving number. A receiving number would be like in the 20s or maybe in the 40s, something like that. Because he was so like Landon Roberts, 44 is like a tight end number. So I don't think that counts. So because
That
he has an ineligible number, 51, he needed a report. My problem and Omar Kelly's problem is when Kamu Grugier Hill reports, hey, I'm eligible to the ref, don't you think that the entire defense is going to be like, or like the special teams unit on the defensive side is going to be like, hey, that
and
guy
it's
just reported as ineligible. Maybe we
dude,
should
the other
cover him.
they say it on the speaker. Number
Yeah,
44
yeah,
has reported as eligible
yeah,
receiver.
that's
Like
what I'm saying. Like he's gonna sit there and tell the ref, and the ref's gonna tell the whole game that he's eligible, and then everyone kind of shakes their head and was like, "Huh, maybe if he's eligible, we should cover him." And then the play doesn't work. So what's the point of reporting eligible?
I've seen a lot of fake punts, and I've never seen that flag thrown, and I've never heard blank blank has reported as an eligible receiver on punts. I've never heard that on a
Me
punt.
neither, and it had something to do, I swear that Flo said it, had something to do with him having an ineligible number. And right after this call, I'm going to get on Google and I'm going to look at the rule book and I'm going to see what reporting and eligibility has to, and it makes sense to me, right? Maybe if that
Yeah.
is a rule that I've never heard of, it makes sense
Yeah.
that maybe a number 90 something or maybe number 50 something, 60 something can't just catch a pass unless they report it. But you're right, he's a gunner on the outside.
Yeah.
Like, since when do gunners not?
Well, he's not a
Uh,
gunner, but he's
he's
like
not a
one of the
gunner, but he's one of the guys. Like,
yeah, not on the line of scrimmage down
he's not a
blocking.
gunner. Yeah,
So
exactly. He's not one of the down linemen. He was off ball.
yeah,
Anyways,
that was aggravating. I remember I saw the flag fly, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" Because this was already at the point where I think they got 7 flags, and we had one.
the poor punter, like the punter, like Matt Hawk is so good. I mean, he gets a touchdown. He's thrown one last year.
Can we
He was
talk about
about.
the catch though? That was a great catch.
It's a really good catch for a
That,
linebacker.
that was a great
It's
catch.
amazing. I hope that they get one before the end of the year. And I'm so excited because now that the end of the year is happening, you're seeing the playbook unleashed. You see them pull out every trick in the book and they take their shots. Let's give Flo some serious credit here. Is he not a really aggressive coach in the best way? He's smart, but he's so not timid. Remember like Joe Philbin and his
Yeah.
queasiness? Like with Joe Philbin, it used to always be he's afraid of everything. He's afraid of like taking any shots. He'll always take the conservative. Brian Flores like puts a pedal on the gas, 2-point conversions, trick plays. He doesn't care. He
Nope.
plays to win. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that man is he's I feel like he's like a dad to all these guys. Like he looks out for them and he go to war with them.
Yeah,
And that,
he's not even older than Fitz, so that's pretty
yep.
incredible.
And that yeah, no, he's not.
He's not. Fitz is 38 and Flo is like also 38, I think. So,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
so he's like older. He's younger than Tom Brady.
Well, hey, we got coach for a long time.
Yep, hope
Um,
so.
I do not have anything else written down to talk about. We
Me
can
neither.
open up. You have anything?
No, I really wanted to talk about like the special teams, the offensive line play. I don't think there's anything else to write home about it with this other than looking forward to the Raiders in a primetime 8 o'clock game. And we won't preview the game here, but that's a big one. And I think all of them are big. You kind of have to, it's crunch time, but I'm not
Yep.
worried. I wasn't worried in this game either. There wasn't a single
No.
moment in this game where I thought we were going to lose.
No.
So
I told you before halftime. She asked me. I was like, "You think we'll still win?" We got it. We got it.
I felt the same way. I said, we got it. And when you're only 6 points down, I would never count Tua out to be able to come back any deficit to try to come back and win the game. And they don't give up. This team has
Yeah.
incredible resilience. They have incredible coaching, and they bought in. And we couldn't have asked for this to go any better for the Miami Dolphins
Yep,
because
and that's the bottom line. And not every win's going to be pretty, but
I don't
damn,
care.
they got to win.
Yep,
So,
that's all that matters is getting the win. So
yeah.
yeah, I think
Well, we
that's
are
it.
here, all done. So this video will be posted. We will be doing a preview soon.
Yep.
Probably there Thursday for the Raiders game on Saturday night, day after Christmas. Um, I have nothing else. Randy is out of ideas. We are done. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please leave me comments too. I had some Chiefs fan. I don't know if you saw this or anyone saw this on my last video that was like talking crap on my YouTube.
That's a good
But hey,
thing. Let them talk crap. Yeah, they're still commenting.
and I don't know who he was. So hey, I appreciate him watching my video, the whole thing.
Yeah, me
And
too. Comment and talk some crap onto the video. We could use the comments. Share it too so your friends can talk crap.
go ahead, say your line.
Yeah, I
Show
was just gonna say, share the video, subscribe, like, send it to everyone, such as your mom, your grandma, dog, dolphin, your cat, your angry neighbor. Send it to the angry neighbor. We really need his comments under the video. He's got
Yep.
nothing better to do. So I think that we should.
We're all done
Yeah.
here, guys. Peace
Yep.
out.
Peace out.
Fins
Fins
up.
up.